Crossfire. The gunshot that ruined Detective Marcus Hale's life wasn't fired by a criminal. It came from his own weapon. One wrong call, 1 second of panic, and a 17-year-old boy named Andre Lewis was dead. The department called it a tragic mistake. The media called it murder. Marcus called it the end. He turned in his badge, sold his house, and disappeared from Los Angeles. For 7 years, he lived like a ghost, working night shifts at a garage in Arizona, drinking cheap whiskey, and avoiding mirrors. Every night he saw the same thing. A flash of light, a boy's terrified face, and the sound of his own breathing. People said time heals all wounds. But Marcus learned that guilt doesn't fade, it only waits. Then, one night, someone knocked on his door. He opened it to find a man in a dark suit, early 30s, sharp eyes, calm voice. "Marcus Hale. Used to be," Marcus said. The man handed him a folder. Inside was a photo, a familiar face, older now but unmistakable. "Andre Lewis?" Marcus whispered. The man nodded. "His brother, actually. Name's Damien. I'm FBI." Marcus's pulse spiked. "What do you want?" Damien's tone was steady. "The people who supplied the gun that killed my brother, they're active again. Trafficking illegal weapons across state lines. We've been tracking them for 2 years. But they know every move we make. We need someone who understands how they operate. You worked the streets. You know these guys." Marcus laughed bitterly. "You want help from the man who killed your brother?" Damien didn't flinch. "I want help from the man who never stopped regretting it." For the first time in years, Marcus looked someone in the eye and didn't see hatred, just purpose. He agreed. The operation was simple on paper. Infiltrate a gun-running network in Los Angeles, gather intel, and identify the supplier known only as Vargo. But nothing in that city was ever simple. When Marcus returned, Ella felt like a wound that never closed. The same streets, the same sirens, but colder now. He drove past the corner where it all happened. There was a mural of Andre on the wall, painted in blues and golds. Beneath it, candles flickered. Damien noticed him staring. "You don't have to carry it forever," he said quietly. Marcus replied, "You don't get to tell me when to stop carrying it." They moved into a warehouse undercover. Marcus posed as a mechanic with access to stolen parts. The plan worked. Within weeks, he was dealing directly with Vargo's middlemen. They met in abandoned lots, exchanged crates full of weapons and cash. Damien stayed back, recording everything. But something about the operation felt off. The shipments were too clean, too well-timed. Someone on the inside was feeding information to the enemy. One night, during a buy, everything went wrong. Gunfire erupted. Marcus barely ducked behind a truck before a bullet grazed his arm. He yelled into his earpiece, "Damien, we're burned. Pull back." But Damien's voice came through, calm as ever. "Negative. Stay with it. We've got them cornered." Moments later, the warehouse door exploded open. Vargo himself stepped out, flanked by guards. Marcus froze. He recognized him immediately. Captain Raymond Ortiz, his former commanding officer. The same man who'd testified against him 7 years ago. Vargo smiled. "Didn't think I'd see you again, Hale. You still shooting kids?" Marcus's jaw clenched. "You're done, Ray?" Ortiz laughed. "You don't get it, do you? You think they blamed you because you pulled the trigger? No, they blamed you because someone needed to take the fall. That boy's death, it made careers." Before Marcus could answer, gunfire erupted again. Damien burst through a side door, taking cover behind a car. "Drop it," he shouted. Ortiz turned, smirking. "Well, look who we have here, the brother." He fired twice. Marcus dove in front of Damien. One bullet hit his shoulder, spinning him backward. He dropped to the ground, bleeding. Damien screamed his name, returning fire, hitting one of the guards. Chaos exploded around them. Sirens, shouting, smoke. When it was over, Ortiz lay dead. The others fled. Damien knelt beside Marcus. "Stay with me, man. You're gonna be okay." Marcus coughed, smiling faintly. "Guess I finally did something right." "You saved me," Damien said. Marcus looked up at him, eyes glassy. No, I saved both of us. Then he passed out. He woke 3 days later in a hospital. The first thing he saw was Damien sitting in a chair, holding the file with Ortiz's name on it. We got them, Damien said softly. The ring's gone. Ortiz was the leak. It's over. Marcus nodded weakly. And you? I'm done chasing ghosts, Damien said. My brother. He wouldn't want me to spend my life in revenge. He paused, then added, I read your report from that night, the one they sealed. My brother wasn't supposed to be there, was he? Marcus shook his head slowly. He ran into the alley after a stolen phone. We thought he had a weapon. I didn't even see his face until... He stopped. Damien looked at him for a long time. I forgive you. Marcus turned away, tears stinging his eyes. You shouldn't. Damien smiled faintly. Maybe not, but he would have. A month later, the FBI cleared Marcus of all remaining charges. They even offered him a consulting role. He declined. Instead, he moved back to the small desert town, fixing up cars again. Quieter this time, lighter somehow. Every Friday, a letter arrived from Damien. Updates, photos from his new family, small notes about life. Marcus kept them all in a shoebox labeled Crossfire. One morning, he received a package. Inside was a folded American flag and a note. For the man who taught me that saving one life can heal two. Marcus sat there for a long time, sunlight spilling across the table. He didn't cry. Not because he didn't feel, but because for the first time, the weight he carried didn't hurt anymore. It just existed. Later that day, he drove out to the old shooting range. He stood there for a while, looking at the horizon, then left his badge on a fence post. Rusted, worn, but still his. As he turned to leave, the wind picked up, scattering dust across the ground. For a moment, it sounded almost like a voice, young, familiar, forgiving. Marcus smiled. Yeah, he said softly. I hear you. Then he walked away.